So right students, the next concept is physical properties of secondary group elements. Okay. So now in this video, so let me try to cover the physical properties, chemical properties, and the next one uses of the secondary group elements. So now let us see the physical properties. So first one guys, so all the secondary group elements except magnesium and beryllium all are in silvery white color. All are in silvery white color except beryllium and magnesium. So now here beryllium and magnesium, these are in gray color or grayish color. Next one, all the secondary group elements are lustrous. So lustrous means when light incident on the surface of the secondary group metals, then they will shine. That is known as lustrous nature. And the next one guys, so these metals contains more melting and boiling points. More melting and boiling points comparing with the secondary group elements. They contain more melting and boiling points than first A group elements. Comparing first A group elements, secondary group elements contains more melting and boiling points because they contain small size than first A group elements. Due to the small size, and the next one, high packing efficiency. High packing efficiency, so they contain more melting and boiling points. And next one, so these are more electropositive. But when you compare to the first A group elements, secondary A group elements are less electropositive. In entire periodic table, first A group elements are more electropositive elements. After that, first A group elements, second A group elements contains more electropositivity. The electropositivity is due to the less ionization energy. Due to the small ionization energy of the second A group elements, they exhibit more electropositivity. Electropositivity means so capacity to donate to release to loss the electron. And the next one guys. Okay, so now that's right. So now fourth one. So the fourth one is these are relatively harder. But comparing with first A group, these are relatively soft. So these are relatively soft, but comparing with the first A group elements, little bit harder. It means that first A group elements are more softer than second A group elements. After first A group elements, second A group elements are more softer. When you compare the softness of the first A and second A group elements, first A group elements more softer than second A group elements. So these are the physical properties of the second A group elements. So next let us see the chemical properties of the second A group elements. Before the chemical properties, so let us see the flame test. In flame test, what type of colors will be given by second A group elements? So now here, except beryllium and magnesium, remaining all the metals in flame test, they can give various types of the colors. So first, if you take calcium, this one gives, which is flame test. So in flame test, calcium gives brick red color. And the next one, strontium gives crimson red color. After strontium, barium. So barium gives apple green color. And the next one, radium. So radium gives crimson color. So right, these are the various types of the colors exhibited by the second A group elements in the flame test. So now we have beryllium and next one magnesium. So in flame test they won't give any kind of colors because of Because of being small size here, there is no possibility for the excitation and de-excitation of the electrons. So here why all these metals can give colors? So the color formation always takes place due to the excitation of electron from one level to another level and de-excitation. So during the flame test, these elements or the electrons present in these elements absorb some energy and they undergoes excitation. And when the electron is getting back, when it is de-excited, so this one emits the energy which is absorbed by the electron. That's why they can exhibit the colors. But in case of beryllium and magnesium, for example, let us take the beryllium. Beryllium contains two shells, and here in the second shell 2 electrons present. First shell also contains 2 electrons. So now here the electrons present in the second shell due to the small size strongly attracted by the nucleus. That's why in flame test they are unable to get excited and there is no chance of the de-excitation also. So same story will be repeated in magnesium also. So here through the flame test we can identify the calcium, strontium, barium, radium because they can give different types of the colors. But we cannot detect the beryllium and magnesium from the flame test. So right, this is about the flame test of the secondary group elements. In flame test we can identify all the elements except the beryllium and the next one magnesium because they won't give any type of color in the flame test. So next one guys, chemical properties. Chemical properties of the secondary group elements. Chemical properties. Chemical properties of the secondary group elements. So first reaction with air. Reaction with air. So right guys. So when secondary group elements, when they are heated in the presence of oxygen, so they give metal oxides. They give metal oxides and metal nitrides. So metal oxides general formula you can take like this MO and metal nitrides M3N2. M3N2. So now for example, if calcium is heated in the presence of or which is burned in the presence of the air, so this one reacts with oxygen and gives CaO. And this one combines with nitrogen and gives Ca3N2. Right? So like this. So remaining metals also on burning they react with oxygen gives respect to metal oxide and respect to metal nitride. So now here two important things are there, beryllium and magnesium. So these two metals are kinetically least reactive. So these metals are kinetically least reactive because on the surface of the beryllium and magnesium, oxide layer or oxide film is present. So due to the formation of the oxide layer, so the oxide layer prevents their reactivity towards the air upon burning. So however, the powdered beryllium upon ignition, so this one combines with oxygen gives beryllium oxide and reacts with nitrogen gives beryllium nitride. So the powdered beryllium, not solid beryllium, powdered beryllium, this one upon ignition combines with oxygen and gives BeO, beryllium oxide. And the next one combines with nitrogen and gives Be3N2. So this compound is covalent in nature. So this is covalent in nature. And the next one, magnesium. So upon burning, magnesium burns with dazzling bright flame. So upon burning, magnesium burns with dazzling bright flame and combines with oxygen gives magnesium oxide and combines with nitrogen. Magnesium combines with nitrogen and gives Mg3N2, magnesium nitride. To balance the equation, you take 3 here. So right. So this is about the reactivity of the secondary group elements with air. So next let us see reactivity of the same group elements with water. So here, except this beryllium and magnesium, remaining all the metals are highly reactive towards the water. Even they can react with cold water vigorously. So here calcium and next one strontium and barium, radium. So these metals even can react with cold water vigorously. Vigorously they can react with cold water and it gives us metal hydroxide. So now let me write this again. Reaction with water. Reaction with water. Except the magnesium and beryllium, remaining all the metals, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, so they can react with even cold water vigorously and gives metal hydroxides. And next one, hydrogen gas is liberated. Let us take one example. For example, you take calcium. This calcium when it is treated with water, so it forms calcium hydroxide. CaOH taken twice. And next one, hydrogen gas. Balance the equation, multiply the water with 2. Similarly, strontium also gives. And next one, beryllium. So this one won't react with even in red hot condition also. Even in red hot condition also, this one won't react with water. So now here, this one contains very less negative electrode potential value, that is minus 1.98 volts. So now this magnesium can react with the hot water. So this one won't react with cold water, but this one can react with hot water and gives magnesium hydroxide, MgOH taken twice, plus hydrogen gas. So multiply with 2. So due to the less negative electrode potential value, this beryllium even in red hot condition also, so that one won't react with the water. So now if you see the reactivity order, beryllium less reactive than magnesium, less reactive than calcium, less reactive than strontium, less reactive than barium, and next one radium. This is the reactivity order of the secondary group elements towards the water. So next let us see reactivity of secondary group elements with the halogens. Halogens. So right. So now here secondary group elements. So I am representing the lithium. They can react with the halogens. Halogens are represented with the X2 and gives metal halides MX2. So right where X equal to fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and M means here secondary group metals. Let us see some examples. So calcium when it is treated with chlorine, we can get CaCl2. So now remaining metals also when they are treated with respect to halide, halogen, they give respect to metal salts. So metal halides. So right guys, however, this beryllium, this one won't react with the halogens directly to give the beryllium halide. But here the salts of the beryllium upon thermal decomposition gives, so the salts of the beryllium halides. Example, one of the salt is ammonium beryllium tetrafluoride. So this one upon thermal decomposition, so this one gives BeF2, beryllium fluoride, beryllium difluoride, and 2 molecules of ammonium fluoride, NH4 here. So directly beryllium won't react with halogen to give the beryllium halide, but remaining metals can combines with the halogens gives metal halides. But here to get the beryllium fluoride or beryllium related halides, so here the salts of the beryllium should be subjected to the thermal decomposition. Upon thermal decomposition, they give beryllium halides like BaF2. Such kind of salts will be given. So right, this is about reactivity of the secondary group element with halogens. And the next one, let us see the reactivity of the halogens with hydrogen. Reactivity of the secondary group element. So right, the next one, reaction with hydrogen. Reaction with hydrogen. So except beryllium, remaining all the secondary group elements upon heating, so they can react with the hydrogen and gives metal hydrides. You can represent the general formula like this. So this is the secondary group element except the beryllium. So when it is heated with the hydrogen gas, it gives metal hydride. So now to get the beryllium hydride, so then we need to treat the BeCl2 with the lithium aluminum hydride, LiAlH4. So now here when it is treated, when this one is treated with the lithium aluminum hydride, so from this you can get BeH2, beryllium hydride, and the byproducts are LiCl plus AlCl3. So to balance this equation, multiply with 2 here, and here also you multiply with 2. So now guys, this one exists as a polymer, and that is covalent in nature. And not only BeH2, MgH2 also covalent in nature, and they exist as a polymer. So like this. For example, if you take the BeH2, this one exists like this. So this is the polymeric structure of the beryllium hydride. So now here also is present like this. So now here you see these bonds are known as 3-center 2-electron bonds. So you will get the concept of 3-center 2-electron bonds in diboron. In diboron concept, you will get a clear idea about the 3-center and 3-center 2-electron bonds. So right, this is the polymeric structure of the beryllium dihydride. And next one, reaction with acids. Reaction with the acids. Reaction with acids. Okay. So now when the secondary group elements are treated with the acids, so they can give salt less hydrogen gas. Example, calcium when it is treated with HCl, so we can get CaCl2 plus hydrogen gas. To balance the equation, you can multiply with 2. So now Ca when it is treated with the H2SO4, from this you can get CaSO4 plus hydrogen gas. So similarly, remaining metals also react with respect to acid and gives the respective salt, and next one hydrogen gas. So next one. So chemical properties completed, and the next one, uses of the secondary group elements. Uses of the secondary group elements. So first one, beryllium, which is used to make the alloys. So especially beryllium and copper related alloys are used to make the high strength springs. So these are used to make the high strength springs. So springs are used in various ways. And the next one, this beryllium, which is used to make the windows of X-ray tubes. Which is used to make the windows of the X-ray tubes. And the next one, magnesium also used in the making of the alloys. So now here the alloys of the magnesium and aluminum. So these are used to make the parts of the aircraft, because which is light in weight, that's why it is used to make the parts of the aircraft. And the next one, magnesium hydroxide, the suspension of the magnesium hydroxide in water, the suspension of magnesium hydroxide in water is known as milk of magnesia. Which is known as milk of magnesia, and which is used as antacid, which is used in the antacid tablets, So right, the suspension of magnesium hydroxide in water is known as milk of magnesia, and that is used in the making of antacid tablets. And the next one, magnesium carbonate. So this is magnesium related compound which is used to make the toothpaste. And the next one, calcium. So this calcium is used to extract metals. From metal oxides. The metal oxides which are unable to extract by using the carbon, then they are extracted by using the calcium. And the next one, calcium, and the next one, barium. So these are used to remove these two metals are used to remove the air in the vacuum chambers or in vacuum tubes. So in vacuum tubes, air is removed by using calcium and barium because these are more reactive towards the air. And the next one, last one, radium. So this radium is used in radiotherapy. Which is used in radiotherapy. Example, this is used in the cancer treatment. So these are the various uses of the second A group elements.